This is the new American media.
Ashton Kutcher, you may have heard of him, and he recently gave a speech, and I found it very inspiring. Oh, by the way, I'm Brian Engelman. I'm your host. This is Agree to Disagree here on the TNAM radio network here at thenewamericanmedia.com. Special thanks to special guest Blake the Eccentric Wally. He had to bounce right before this final segment, but man, we got in a lot of content. Please check it out after the fact. We're going to embed it all on thenewamericanmedia.com. Check out Agree to Disagree. It'll be under the politics section, and it'll be on the front page right there. You can also find us, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'll post all these radio shows up there, youtube.com/thenewamericanmedia. So check us out there. We're going to send all these stories out on Facebook. So search The New American Media and like our page. Spaces in between the words. thenewamericanmedia.com. Like the page. Share the content. Offer your commentary. Keep it mostly civil. And on Twitter at American_media_. I want to play this comment, this speech rather, from Ashton Kutcher, who just got done portraying Steve Jobs in an upcoming movie. And I was just saying on the other side of the break that it takes it takes a certain something, a gumption, an intestinal fortitude, a strength, a passion, a craziness, a good craziness, to say, I will succeed, I will build something of value. I mean, Steve Jobs 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I mean, look at it now, look at Apple, look at it. You know, and for everybody now, it seems like the Obama administration, a lot of people in the Democratic Party, you know, I'm just not understanding the Occupy Wall Street movement. I get some of it. I totally get some of it. But you cannot lump all successful people into some malicious, demonic, cancerous group of slime balls that are exploiting the masses. Not at all. You should be encouraging, and when I say you, I mean Congress, I mean politicians, I mean people in the media, and I mean people giving acceptance speeches and people in high schools and colleges, to be very well educated. Ignorance is not a good thing. And you hear certain groups of people in certain cultures and certain music and certain entertainment where it's kind of cool to be dumb or just not care about things. It's not cool to not care. All right? First off, it is not cool to not care. These are my words. Now, I hope you didn't say that. I don't think you did. I've only seen this once or twice. And you should be chasing something, have a goal, and go after it, and be tenacious about it, and do something. I just want to stop. Let's just listen to his words, because I really don't want to walk over what he's saying. But this is a great message. Share this, comment on it, and I'll discuss it on the other side.
I thought that it might be interesting. You know, in Hollywood and in the industry and the stuff we do, there's a lot of like insider secrets to keeping your career going, and a lot of insider secrets to making things tick. And I feel like a fraud. My name is actually not even Ashton. Ashton is my middle name. My first name's Chris.
Woo, Chris! Brian, why are you playing this? Woo, Chris! We love you, Chris! Ashton, whoever you are. No, just bear with it, bear with it.
And it always has been, and it got changed when I was like 19 and I became an actor. But there were some really amazing things that I learned when I was Chris. And I wanted to share those things with you guys because I think it's helped me be here today. So it's really three things. The first thing is about opportunity. The second thing is about being sexy. And the third thing is about living life. So first, opportunity. I believe that opportunity looks a lot like hard work. When I was 13, I had my first job with my dad carrying shingles up to the roof. And then I got a job washing dishes at a restaurant. And then I got a job in a grocery store deli. And then I got a job in a factory sweeping Cheerio dust off the ground. And I've never had a job in my life that I was better than. I was always just lucky to have a job. And every job I had was a stepping stone to my next job. And I never quit my job until I had my next job. And so opportunities look a lot like work. Number 2, being sexy. The sexiest thing in the entire world is being really smart and being thoughtful. Everything else is crap, I promise you. It's just crap that people try to sell to you to make you feel like less. So don't buy it. Be smart, be thoughtful, and be generous. The third thing is something that I just relearned when I was making this movie about Steve Jobs. And Steve Jobs said, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way that it is, and that your life is to live your life inside the world and try not to get in too much trouble, and maybe get an education and get a job and make some money and have a family. But life can be a lot broader than that when you realize one simple thing, and that is that everything around us that we call life was made up by people that are no smarter than you. And you can build your own things. You can build your own life that other people can live in. So build a life. Don't live one, build one. Find your opportunities and always be sexy. I love you guys.
Man, I like that. You know, you do radio shows. I say you. I'm not talking about yous. When I do radio shows, you hear about things where a rodeo clown becomes a racist. You hear things about torture and the NSA spying on people, violating the Fourth Amendment, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, slander, libel, a militarized police force, a government that's scared of the citizens, global politics and religious problems where hundreds are being killed on a daily basis. And we don't even blink an eye. We watch TV, we watch, hey, football's on, hey, let's watch some football. The Browns are 2-0. Brandon Weeden looks really good. Oh, too bad Josh Gordon's going to be suspended for 2 games. Hey, hope Trent Richardson holds up. I wonder where he's going to go in the fantasy draft. I wonder if he's top 10. People are dying every day. Bloodshed. Violent revolution. But we're distracted by all that crap. These are the only things that matter, according to Ashton. You know? Are things that count. Be smart. Be compassionate. Be generous, you know? Love. Michael Hastings and the intimidation of the media and intimidation of opposing political parties, the IRS. Well, that's great. Yeah, we can really speak up and create a world when you do speak up, you're cut down or eliminated, erased, assassinated, destroyed. That's cool. That's cool. So when I do radio shows, I can get wrapped up sometimes in that. And by that I mean all of the negativity, all of these frustrating things. But there is positive stuff, and I do thank my parents and my grandparents for instilling in me a work ethic. You know, I don't remember the age of my first job. I think technically I was 15 as a busboy at a Greek restaurant called Occasions in Brunswick, Ohio. What was I doing? Washing dishes, and then I graduated to being a busboy. But before that, I mean, way before that, I mean, hell. One of the stories that I remember the most. Went to a Cleveland Indians game. I think it was against the Oakland A's with some of my friends. I used to play baseball back in the day. Didn't pursue it into high school like I did with football and tennis and other stuff. But went to go see an Indians game, and I saw this Bash Brothers T-shirt. It was really cool. I can't recall exactly what it looked like. I don't know if it was airbrushed. It was just a super cool. Like, this was 20 years ago when the Bash Brothers were going on, and I think it might have been an airbrush. It was just a really cool shirt, and the Indians sucked. Let's just face it. In the late '80s, I mean, the Indians were terrible, consistently terrible. And as a baseball fan, you root for your home team, but like you want to root for excellence also. You know, you always want to see your hometown team win. You don't want to pee in your own pool. But at the same time, if you see people doing fantastic stuff somewhere else, you're like, man, that's good. I respect that. That's great. Wish they played for our team. Wish our team had players like that. And it was the Bash brothers, Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco. It was this really cool shirt. And I'd asked my parents, I'm like, hey guys, can you get me this shirt? And they look at it, they're like, how much is it? I'm like, I don't know, $25. Can you get it for me? Like, $25? $25 for a t-shirt? You kidding me? Get out of here. I'm like, what? I really, really want it. Like, it's $25 for a t-shirt. I'm not giving you $25 for a t-shirt. Oh, come on. You know, and I'm very used to getting my way. And so, you know, throw a little, come on, I'll be good, or, you know, I'll make it up. Like, absolutely not. I'm not spending $25 on a t-shirt. That is ridiculous. And so I said, fine. Fine. Forget it. Harumph. And so I went home, and I asked my parents, I said, hey, so, all right, look, I want to get that t-shirt. Now I'm thinking about it, and I'm kind of mad that you guys wouldn't get it for me. Can I do some chores around the house? Can I make some extra money around the house so that I can make money? If you won't buy it for me, can I earn some money so I can go buy it? All right, if you do the dishes after dinner, we'll give you we'll make you a little spreadsheet. Here, we'll hang this up on the wall. All right, here it is. We'll pay you 25 cents, and this is back in 1980 something or 90, early 90 or whatever it was. I was a young tyke whenever the Bash brothers were at their heights in Oakland with the Athletics. And all right, so we'll give you you can earn 25 cents if you do the dishes after dinner. Okay. If you vacuum the entire house, we'll give you 50 cents. Okay. If you take out the trash and bring the trash cans back in, we'll give you another quarter. If they would never let me mow the lawn, and who knows, thankfully, maybe they didn't. Plus, I think it was my dad's moment of zen. Put on the earplugs in his just below the knee socks with the shorts, which left a few inches of exposed flesh right there, just a couple inches, with those big stripes on there. That's the image I see of my dad rolling around in the riding lawnmower. So I think that was his moment of zen. But yeah, so I couldn't do the grass, the landscaping work. But other stuff I would do, I would shovel the driveway in the winter. I would, man, I'm trying to remember all of the chores. Dust. I would dust. Man, there's a couple of other things that I used to do right now. I'm just trying to remember. I don't know if I had to scoop the litter box or whatever it was. Just all the things around the house. And so I got this checklist. I'm like, hey, can I do this? And like, Brian, you just vacuumed yesterday. I'm like, I know, but I want to vacuum again. Like, no, you're actually going to have to wait, Brian. It doesn't need it this second, but you can do it in a couple days. And I'm just a man on a mission at this point. Like, I like work. I like money. I want that shirt. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I'm working. I'm doing all this stuff. 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there, 10 minutes there, an hour there. Doing things, making money. I remember going back to the old Cleveland Municipal Stadium for another Indians game, and I'm so excited. I've converted all my quarters into dollar bills. So excited. In my pocket, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna go get that shirt. I'll show them. I'll show my parents for not giving me something. And so, walked up to the stand. I'm waiting in line, and I'm looking at the shirt. I'm like, And suddenly something has changed, and I'm with my parents. And I'm like, you know what, we can go. They're like, what do you mean we can go? And you want to get the shirt? That's all you've been talking about for a while. I'm like, it's all right, we can go. We can catch the game. Well, what do you mean, Brian? That's practically the reason we came to this game today. I look at my parents and say, you know what? There is absolutely no way that I'm going to spend $25 on a stinking t-shirt. There is no way I'm going to spend $25 of my hard-earned money on a stinking t-shirt. Ain't happening. You know why? Because I learned the value of $1. It wasn't given to me. There's a big difference. There's a big difference when you get used to people giving you things versus having to go out and work and bust your ass. I don't know how many winters myself and a couple of friends would go shovel driveways and like, hey, can we shovel your driveway for $5 or $10, whatever it was, I don't know, a couple bucks, whatever you have. Go work. I mean, on a Saturday when people are supposed to be inside playing, what was it, Nintendo at the time, I suppose. When people are supposed to be inside playing video games, I mean, I'm out there making money so that I can go buy baseball cards, so that I can get the good baseball cards and trade them for better baseball cards and build assets that way. I was always that was like my stock market. I did okay in some regions, I kind of didn't in some others, but I mean that's life. You learn. But that was my stock market, was baseball, football, and basketball cards. I'm going to make an investment. I'm going to trade these dollars for these cards, and then I'm going to go to this card shop and I'm going to sell the cards for dollars, and I'm going to trade with my friends. Oh, but this is my stock market. That's exactly what it was. It was my stock market. And I mean, I was out there before my job at 15. Trust me, I was out there before. 15 years old in a as a busboy, and started off as a dishwasher in a Greek restaurant. That was gross. But there was no job that was beneath me. I would try to get another job if I disliked what I was doing. My next job, I was working. Where was that? I was at Hardee's. Oh, I was on the chicken prep line. Oh, you gotta use your thumb, and you gotta put these gloves on. You gotta take the vein out of the thigh of the chicken before you could bread it, and then I mean, that was gross. So instead of just working in the chicken station, I said, "Hey, can I cook? Can I make some burgers and stuff? Like, that'd be way better than this." And then from there, once I switched out from chicken, because I did not like that, but I needed a job. And by the way, before I'm working at Hardee's when I'm 16. The car I was driving there was a Chevy S10. We called it the Rust 10 because it was all rusted out. It was my grandparents. My parents had been asking, hey, my grandma and grandpa are getting a little older. Maybe you could help them out by, mowing the lawn and helping them out. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, if they need me to, I can. I really, I don't want to. But what is it? Once a week, every other week, once a month, whatever. Okay. So I'd been going over there and cutting their lawn, and then they'd feed me, and we'd hang out and talk and stuff. And just one day, this was after I don't know how many weeks or months of doing it. I don't know if I was on year 2. I don't even remember. I'd just been doing it because I was asked to, and I know that it would have been helpful. So I was doing that, and my grandparents asked me, "So you're going to be 16? Do you have a car yet?" I said, "No, I don't. I'm working though. I'm trying to save up some money." So I could buy a Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco Bash Brothers t-shirt. This time it's 16-year-old. It's for a vehicle. I mean, because my parents were middle class, but they busted their ass. They were frugal. And I had some friends that would always give me grief about me and my family being cheap. I'm like, screw you. Piss off. I don't need to impress you. And we're only where we are in the middle class is because we're smart and we're careful. And we're busting our ass to be here. I don't need to take grief from any of you guys. And you'd have you'll encounter all types when you go through middle school, elementary school, and high school. But anyway, back to the cutting the grass, where I couldn't cut the grass at home. I was being asked to do it at my grandparents' place, so fine, whatever. And after how long I'm doing this, do you have a car? I said, no, I'm saving though, I'm working. And okay, well, when you get a car though, you're gonna have to pay for insurance and gas and tires and oil changes and stuff. I said, yeah, I know, it's going to be tough. I got to, find a way. My grandparents said, hey, we appreciate that you've been cutting the grass. Would you like this truck? I mean, would I like this truck? Are you kidding me? That was a huge hug. Oh my gosh, yes. Really? I can drive something? I didn't care that it was a rusting out Chevy S10. I didn't care that some of my friends got brand new Mustangs that they crashed in the parking lot. I won't say who that was, but it did happen. Or swiped on a guardrail trying to showboat and show off. Come on, that's what 16-year-olds do. And I don't necessarily begrudge the fact that other kids were given stuff by their parents. I mean, if I had the capabilities, I mean, I would help my kids. But I think I would also teach them the value of a work ethic. Maybe not give, but find a way to help them work to attain But I loved it. I loved that truck. And so that's what I drove to and from Hardee's. Then after that, I didn't like cooking because I was getting all burned up, and I'm working in a 115-degree kitchen in the middle of summer, just sweating nonstop. That place actually closed down. I went and worked at it was a Country Kitchen or Super Kmart. Worked at both of them. I'm trying to remember which was which. Maybe it was Super Kmart as a cashier. Yeah, I worked there for a while. I was too young to swipe wine or beer, so I had to call the manager, so I must have been below 19, obviously. I think, wait, 17? I forget the age, who cares? And then I worked at Country Kitchen as a waiter, because I liked that better than cooking. Then eventually I started bartending, because I liked that better than waiting tables. You know, and every job tends to give you the skill set to go to the next one. It builds your work ethic, builds you up a little bit. Teaches you some skill. There's no job that's beneath you. Go get a job. And if you're not a fan of it, find something else and go get that. Nobody says you have to. We're not in a caste system here in America. You can do whatever you want. And do it. But don't sit there and accept that anybody else out there doing what they're doing is any smarter than you. And I've said this across the board. I learned this when I was a concert director at Bowling Green State University. I worked with UAO, the University Activities Organization. And I applied for this job. It was concert director. I'd been there 2 years. And so I go into this interview, and they said, okay, so why do you want to be concert director? I said, really? Why are you even asking me that? I said, I've been here 2 years, and I know plenty of people all across the state of Ohio and up in Michigan that are going to school, and they have seen major concerts go to their school. Ohio State, Central Michigan, University of Toledo, University of Miami. I mean, just keep going. Just keep going. And there were a lot of places that were having concerts, and Bowling Green was not. I said, why am I applying? I'm applying for this job because for some reason, you guys have not been bringing concerts, and that's the job of the concert director, right? So I'm doing it because nobody else is. I don't want to do this. I wish you guys would have done your job for the past 2 years. But none of my friends have found anything fun to do on campus because nobody's doing it. So I'm standing up, and I'm saying, fine, I'll do it. You know, very similar to why I'm on my board of directors with my homeowners association now. You think I want to do that? Hell no. I don't want to do it. Think I want to do radio about all these miserable things? No, I don't want to do it. But nobody else is. And you need to become the change you want to see in the world. Or stop complaining. And I'd rather see people stand up and do things. Then you can complain as much as you want. It's pretty sweet. Man, maybe one of these days, see, I'll make a successful radio career out of this. Man. But that's what Ashton Kutcher was saying there when he did the Steve Jobs movie. People are no smarter than you. The world that they built, that doesn't mean that's the way things have to be. That means that that's the way it currently is. This isn't set in stone. It doesn't have to be this way forever. You don't have to work as a dishwasher at a Greek restaurant for the rest of your life. You do it for now, and you find the next thing. You know, you build the life that you want. You don't live the life that's there. You build it. You create it. And that's what I learned. The reason I brought up the concert director position. And by the way, it took a year, and we had great student advisors, and we that's a bit of a longer story, but we had advisors, we had great volunteers, great co-sponsors, and we were able to book a $100,000 sold-out concert for 4,300 people in our sports arena with Moby opening for Bush, who had just come off Woodstock 99 playing in front of 600,000 people. It was incredible. It was incredible because we hadn't had concerts for years. And then we did because we built something. We built something. And that's why I love that Ashton Kutcher. It spoke to me a lot because, you know, I do a sports show called The Unhappy Hour. Cleveland Browns are not going to get better. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. And man, will karma be complete when the Cleveland Browns can defeat the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game prior to winning their first Super Bowl. Man, is that karma going to be sweet. Oh, it's going to be sweet. But they're not going to get there by complaining about it. Well, the Denver Broncos have been too good for too long. Stop it. Go out. Get better than them and defeat them. Do it. Do it. Do it now. do it. And that's the point. Do something. Not everyone can be Steve Jobs, but everybody can do something. And don't give up. And that's a lesson I learned in football. Intestinal fortitude. Don't give up. You can get knocked on your ass plenty of times, but don't give up. And I've learned that lesson to a fault. I know there are times you're supposed to be able to walk away. I know there are times you're supposed to throw in the towel. I know there are times you're supposed to cut your losses. And that's a successful strategy on Wall Street and relationships and jobs and in careers and investments all across the board. I understand that. But that's not really in my DNA, the giving up. And I don't know necessarily where I learned that because I had it before football. But it was reinforced during football. But I didn't give up as the concert director on campus. I didn't give up. I didn't give up. I worked harder. Oh, you can't do that. You could never do that. Watch me. Bring it. You know how crazy I looked when people said, "Hey, what's your goal for the?" We went to a retreat up in Michigan with all of the different directors for the University Activities Organization at Bowling Green State University, and write your goal down on an index card, and you're going to tape it to your mirror, and you're going to look at it every day to remind you what your goal is. Actually, I should probably do that with the New American Media because I do have a goal here. Share that with you at some other time, but just assume it's a large and lofty goal. Otherwise, why have them? And my goal was a sold-out show at Anderson Arena. I mean, the looks I got, like, this was coming off a year where they tried a concert, it fizzled, it flopped, there were lawsuits, everybody got fired. I won't get into all the specifics, but it was a fiasco, it was a disaster. A disasco? I don't know if that's a word, I'm just making it up. But on the heels of absolute abject failure, this was coming back and succeeding, and nobody expected that. And I pushed really strongly to the point where I said, really, I got to throw down my gauntlet on this. I so strongly believe in this that I'm about to tell you, that I want this to be our motto for the year for the entire organization. Exceeding all expectations. And other people had a few ideas, and they were good ideas, nice little phrases, but no. We need to exceed all expectations. What is our mantra for the year? We're exceeding all expectations. Nobody expected anything of the concert committee. And we exceeded nothing. And we rocked it. We exceeded all expectations. And that's Ashton Kutcher is saying. Exceed expectations. And what I learned, back once again to the concert committee position, is that I learned just because somebody was the concert director last year, I'm not singling that person out exclusively, or the person the year before, or the person the year before that, necessarily. But to take that as an example where I learned from and extrapolate it to politics, extrapolate it to business, finance, relationship, doesn't matter, any aspect of your life. Just because somebody is currently doing something, that does not mean that they're any better at it than you. Maybe they're just keeping your seat warm until you get there. Maybe you meet somebody that had a lousy relationship the last time around. Well, you know what? Maybe he was just taking up the space until I got here. Oh, well, someone was doing that job before, and you know what? They're actually okay. That's great, they're okay. Wait till I get there and make it excellent. Never... Well, I'm so glad the world is working out so perfectly and everything is so harmonious. Well, I would like to make it better, please. Now, if you think that everything's working out harmoniously in this world and that we're not setting ourselves up for a huge financial crash when this house of cards finally collapses, as our local police are being militarized, as First Amendment rights are being squashed, creating a chilling effect where the NSA is listening to everything and spying on all your emails and text messages and phone calls and building a database of who you are and who you know and where you live and GPS tracking your phone coordinates, where you're going at every single hour of the day. Look, that's creepy. And if I were a bad guy that wanted to dominate the world, oh, buddy, I would use this information and crush all of my opponents. You feel any of that? Feel any of that with the IRS scandals going after the Tea Party? Do you feel any of that? You feel any of that with Michael Hastings or Edward Snowden or Bradley Manning? I mean, Bradley Manning's exposing, the killing of innocents in the Iraq War. I think it was the Iraq War. Sorry if it's Afghanistan, but in the conflict in the Middle East, let's just say I kind of forget. So he exposes that. He's the bad guy. He's got to go away for 190 years or something. Edward Snowden, patriot, by the way, exposes the NSA clearly violating Fourth Amendment protections and restrictions upon which government can and cannot do, restrictions upon what government can do to people. No, he's the traitor, they say, and he should be charged with treason. He's not a whistleblower defending the Constitution. No. So the people that are standing up to try to defend liberties, civil liberties for everyone, are being attacked. You know what? What are you going to do? You're going to clam up? You're going to sit down? You're going to shut up? You're going to just go back into your hole, go back into the cave, crawl into the basement, hope nobody notices that you're alive? Maybe you'll be okay? You want to do that? Would that be good? No. You get louder. Remain polite as much as possible, but you get louder, you speak out more. You have to, if you want to create the world that you want. Become the change that you want to see in the world. You're in charge of this. You are not at the mercy of some system, Occupy Wall Street, where it's all set up against me. I can't ever do. The system's rigged. Now, you've heard me say the system's rigged and it's all set up, that the Democrats and Republicans are the same party. They've co-opted this into a one-party oligarchy, and they control the dynamics where they have these fake fights like it's a WWE wrestling match. And just like Jesse Ventura said, they go back behind the scenes, they have martinis and laugh it up over dinner. It's a show. It's a puppet show. Now, I've said that, but I'm making the comparison where if some people want to point it out and complain about it, as opposed to get involved and really try to impact a difference, there is a difference. You know, we've reached hundreds of people. I don't even know the numbers, how many thousands of people are following us on Facebook and Twitter, and I don't know, somewhere over 107,000 on YouTube. We're trying to elevate the conversation. We're trying to cover the stories that we're unhappy that these stories are not being covered more by traditional dinosaur media outlets. So you know what? I could either complain about it or I could build something. Like Steve Jobs, like Ashton Kutcher was saying. I'm going to build the new American media. I don't even know exactly what it's going to be yet. But I know it's going to be big. I know it's going to be the biggest. And I know that independent citizen journalists, we're ready to connect. Because we know we have to. The info war is on, people. Control the message. Control the message. And that's what it's about. You know what? If I were sitting filthy rich and pretty and life was grand, maybe I would be willing to sacrifice the success and livelihood and mental well-being and fiscal well-being and quality of life of others, air quotes, the others. Whether that's the peons and the 99%, whether that's someone in another country, I don't care who we bomb over there as long as I get my XYZ over here cheap, whatever. I mean, I get why some people could do that, but I don't think that's the case. I think our soul is eternal. I think we are going to be judged when we pass from this experience. I don't even care what particular brand of spirituality or dogma you happen to subscribe to, as long as it supports civil liberties for all. You can have your own personal views as long as they don't infringe on others, Gets dicey, but I'm willing to talk about it. I think my soul will be judged. I think I'm here for a reason. I think maybe it's even possible that I chose to be here. Ponder that for a second. That'll take you next level. There's a concept out there that in your past life, if there's a past life, it's just a theory. I'm not saying I totally subscribe to it, but it's very interesting. That you met with your maker before, and you went over what you did right and what you did wrong in your last experience, and you developed a plan, built a little video game, or a matrix, if you will. And you said, all right, Lord, God, creator of this experience, I need to learn these lessons. Here's who I'm going to come back as a guy, I'm going to come back as a girl, I'm going to be born in Ohio, or I'm going to be born in Texas, or in Saudi Arabia, whatever the case is. These are going to be the challenges that confront me, and how I react to that, that's going to be my test when I pass the next time. Then you get flashy thing. Like in Men in Black, where you don't remember, and then you come back and you have a new experience. There's a theory that we've asked to be here in 2013. That we wanted to be here in the age of information. What is the phrase? In the age of information, ignorance is a choice? Well, smart is sexy. Take it from Ashton. But really, what if we want to be here right now? What if it is our job, not Steve Jobs, what if it is our job to stand up and fix and create a better world? just kind of do this a different way. I mean, I have been blessed with the ability to see things that aren't there. I'm going to definitely paraphrase that Robert Kennedy quote, because I'm not quoting him. I'm talking about me, but it's similar. I mean, I've been blessed and cursed with the ability to see things that aren't there and say, why isn't it there? I want that there. That needs to be there. Not just for me, but because everybody would benefit by this being tweaked. When I ran for student government president at Bowling Green, I mean, sometimes it was just a simple thing. It was like, all these parking spots out front, this should be for the commuter students, not for the teachers. We pay the teacher's salary. Let them park in the overflow lot and take the shuttle in. I mean, these are students that are working multiple jobs. Maybe they have kids. They're commuting. They need to jump in, park, go to one class, grab their car, and go. And they have things to do. That should be for the customer, not the employee. That would benefit everybody. And people were concerned about the crime in the overflow lot, kind of way out by the football stadium, a little further down, maybe a little dimly lit. Maybe there were some robberies, maybe an assault or two, you know, over the course of several years or something. And the administration always say, no, it's safe down there. No, it's fine, it's fine. All right, you know what? Here's how we're going to make it fine. Employees, including the president of the university, you guys park out there, and you wait for the shuttle. See if you're happy with the shuttle service running on time. See if you're happy with the security that's being provided out there. I think you might have a different opinion if that's you. Take Obamacare. Oh, no, Obamacare's the best thing since sliced bread. By the way, don't eat sliced bread. It's bad for you, too many carbs. So Obamacare is great, but we're going to exempt all of ourselves from being a part of it because, I mean, I don't want it. It's crap. You know, isn't that exactly what Wall Street was doing with all of these subprime loans, these toxic mortgages, these mortgage-backed securities? They were bundling them all together in a little game of cards. They're saying, hey, investors, you guys should buy this stuff. It's fantastic. AAA rated. Look, it's all these mortgages. Property values are skyrocketing. You will see a return on your investment. They'd press mute. They go, these are crap. Whoops, was this thing on? That's what these internal memos are saying. They're selling garbage to people. They knew it. They would even bet against these things knowing that they were going to fail. They would short sell their own investments on top of it so that they could get paid on top of fleecing people when it collapsed. They would get paid twice. It's insanity. Obamacare. Oh, no, it's so great. But we need to exempt ourselves from it because we know it's crap. We just know it's good enough for you clowns. Not rodeo clowns. I just mean the peons, the 99%. So anyway, I just loved this speech by Ashton Kutcher because it really spoke to me and how I grew up, some of the lessons that I learned, and you know, I have yet to meet a perfect human being on this planet. And sorry if I did and I didn't notice you, my bad. Swing by again sometime. Maybe my eyes will be a little bit more open this time. Maybe I'm a little more enlightened in my aged wisdom. I haven't met a perfect human, and everybody hits rough spots in life. That's fine. But it's not fine to give up. It's not fine to expect everyone else to take care of you. Nobody owes you anything. You need to be taking care of somebody lesser than you. Stop looking at the people above and saying, hey, you know, why didn't Steve Jobs pay more in taxes? It's not right that he made money. I want to make money. I want you to make money. I want all of us to make money. Well, we can't all make money. Why not? The Federal Reserve makes money out of thin air. Poof. So build the life that you want. Don't live a life. And nobody that's sitting in that position is any smarter than you. They just happen to be taking up your space until now. So go out and do something. And go out and check out our website, thenewamericanmedia.com. By the way, we're looking for content contributors, assistant editors. Because we're about 27, 28, 29 months, I forget exactly how many months into this project, over 2 years at the New American Media, and we've given you a rough estimate, a rough template. You know, sometimes stories go on Facebook and Facebook only, sometimes they go on the homepage and the homepage only, sometimes only on Twitter, you know, sometimes only on YouTube. We are ready for you to join us, because this is your media, this is the New American Media. We want you to become the change you want to see in the world. When I didn't like the coverage I was getting when I ran for student government president and was putting on this concert back in college, guess what I did? I went and wrote for the newspaper the next year. They couldn't believe it. Well, what do you want to be here for? I said, I think what you've been doing was ridiculous. I think it's been irresponsible, and it's been pretty lousy, actually. So I want to be a voice of reason. So if you kind of like what we're doing over here, whether it's the sports stuff, the spiritual stuff, the economic stuff, the political stuff, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be into all of it. We can agree to disagree and just be mostly civil. I mean, you could care all about our health section, about fluoride and genetically modified foods and aspartame and all these things that you're not seeing on a daily basis from the dinosaur media. If you like that and you could give a damn about our politics and our sports, that's fine. Send us a message. Find us. Say hello. And keep saying hello. It's a little unmanageable, but it's time to start delegating some of this and building our committee, building our team. We need citizen journalists all over the United States. So say hello, thenewamericanmedia.com. Also, you can say hi to us on Facebook. Search The New American Media and like our page. Share the content. Leave some comments. Follow us on Twitter. We're at American_media_. And subscribe to our youtube.com/The New American Media page, because that would be fantastic. So thank you, Ashton. That was a good speech. I appreciate it. I think that Jobs movie really did wake something up in you, and I like it. I'm really happy to hear. I wish I would hear more positive. I want more of that. You know why? That's why I did such a long segment here just now. Blake left, and I've been rambling on for God knows how long. And trust me, God does know how long. But I really wanted to express this because these are words of positivity and of wisdom and of encouragement and motivation. Take that. So we can only handle so much of the bad. You know, we start melting down, and I've been in my phases where it's just bad news after bad news after bad news after bad news. You know what? This too shall pass. Nothing is permanent. The good times will not last. The bad times will not last. And you know what? Frankly, that's a lesson I learned as a server and a bartender. You would have lousy days, but this too shall pass. You would have amazing days where you would make a ton of money, but not all the time. Then there are a lot of days somewhere in between. So you could not focus on the extremes. The most miserable people I knew, the most miserable people that I knew when I was bartending, throughout many different establishments, whatever, were the ones that always remembered, you know, a couple weeks ago, I walked out of here with, and they'd rattle off a huge number. I hate this place. I never do that well again. And it's all, you know what? Those were the most miserable people I met. Because every day that wasn't that 1% of the time, out of 100 shifts, they're only happy when it's that one day, and miserable, just walking bags of negativity every other day than that. You know, it's a balance. You can't take one horrible day and say everything is horrible, it's all over, it's falling apart, I give up. You don't ever quit. It'll balance. It'll balance. You know, so that's kind of what I'm saying here is you gotta balance it. This too shall pass. You know, it's not going to all be bad days. It's not all going to be good days. There's going to be something in between. But that teaches you how to budget. You know, in our government with a $17 trillion credit card. Come on, man. You got to know that there are good days and bad days. You've got to have a contingency plan. You cannot just keep spending more than you have, or you're going to crush us. You're going to kill all of us with this massive debt. How do you get out of this? I can't do this in my personal life. You can't do it for me. You're my representatives. You work for me. Change it. Change it. Change it. Hey, social conservatives, stay away from the Tea Party. Let them do what they're doing. That's not the point. They're just trying to bring some rational common sense stuff. The rest is politics. You guys are trying to co-opt this stuff, and you have for the past couple of years. Stay out of it. Stay home. You're not a part of that. We want civil liberties for everybody. We want rational budgeting. Figure it out. Common sense cuts, not just ridiculous sequestration haphazardly. It's just this is a ship without a captain. These people are our employees. You know what? Sometimes when you're at college for a couple years and nobody's been doing the job, sometimes you got to raise your hand and say, "Excuse me, I think it's my turn to take the position." Well, what are your qualifications? I'm not you. Bring it and try it. So we need more people stepping up to serve on a local level, whether it's a school board, a homeowners association, city council, running for positions in office, joining the new American media. Do something. Step up. Do something. Don't just complain about the world that isn't. Step up and start creating the one that you want. My name's Brian Engelman. And I've been your host today on Agree to Disagree, and I appreciate the fact that you've taken the opportunity to listen to this. Because this is my story, and I suspect it's a lot of stories out there. It's very similar. There is a work ethic at the core of what we have going on, and too many people become addicted to the drug of handouts. And a lot of times the form of handouts have been corrupted and turned into a lifetime of dependency to mainly benefit the Democratic Party. But here's the good thing. The Democratic Party is really no different than the Republican Party. They're both just things. You are sovereign. You are in charge of your life. You get to impact the world that you live in. I don't support Republicans. I don't support Democrats. I support liberty and justice for all. I like libertarian ideas. Leave me be. I like trying to be helpful in your local areas, your local communities, your local neighborhoods. Try to impact the world on a global scale. Do something. Do something. Even if you don't know what it is, take a step. At one point you might turn around a couple decades in and go, "Wow, I built Apple computer?" Sweet. Or maybe it's something simple on a homeowner association. You take a few steps forward and you look back like, "Wow, the landscaping looks a lot better since I started working with the new landscaping company. Oh, that's great. Hey, our balance sheets look a little better since we were able to do a few things to, maybe we can repair the buildings. Oh, hey, maybe now more people know that the NSA's domestic spying program is completely unconstitutional, illegal, and perhaps high crimes and misdemeanors worthy of impeachment. And both Bush and Obama were guilty of these. Okay. Maybe just having that knowledge is helpful, and you played a role in forwarding and disseminating that information, spreading it on YouTube and on Facebook, on Twitter. But I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to listen to me today. And we just hope that you stay connected with us as we grow through 2013 and beyond. So until next time, become the change that you want to see in the world and create the life that you want. Don't live in the life that there's here. Don't accept this reality. Build your own reality. Live the dream. You get to pick what that dream is. I'm going to leave you with a song. This is Juice Media, Rap News 15. We play it all the time. It's very relevant. This is the reason why we do what we do, because if we don't, who's going to stand up and speak out for us? Who will defend us if we don't defend the Constitution now? Take a listen. This is all about surveillance, folks. It's the reason why we do what we do. Oh, and by the way, today's episode of the NewAmericanMedia.com's Agree to Disagree program has been recorded for quality assurance purposes by the NSA to be used against you at a later date. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Welcome back, netizens, to this newest edition in Juice Media series of rap news journalism with me, Robert Foster. This evening we're actively delving in depth to facts which affect all of us who dwell on this internet. And we've got to give a special welcome to all the ladies and agents from the NSA, ACO, MI5. Glad you're listening in, because today's show is all about surveillance and how it's spreading from the streets into our modems. As we speak, laws are being tacitly written in to implement ways of controlling the expanse of this internet to keep us safe, we're told. But from whom? And will this place ever be the same if these plans go through? To find out, we connect with our first guest to comment on the matter. We're live at the Panopticon with General Baxter. General, son, good to have you back again with us. Explain why the state is spying on us.
My fellow Oceanians, as you know, we've always been at war with Eurasia. Or is it East Asia? Either way, it's war and we need division to wage it. But now the proles are connecting online, bypassing these illusory divisions of race, religion, and nationality.
Sounds grand to me.
It's a catastrophe. Centuries of hard work are being undone, profits are vanishing, and it's due to the internet. It's empowering humanity. We We need to get this snafu under control rapidly.
How?
Behold the latest weapon in the war of terror. Our greatest invention since 9/11. Guaranteed to keep us free and safe forever. I give you the surveillance state, ladies and generals. Our secret wires log your key style. Monitor every single number on your speed dial. Rewind straight to your position with facial recognition and pinpoint you within 0.03 of a mile. We've put eyes everywhere without consulting you, keeping you safe whether or not you want us to. Soon there'll be no freedoms left for threatening. Then we'll have won the war. Take that, terrorism.
Brilliant. Thank you, General. We now interview our resident guru, Terrence Moonseed, for a different view.
Greetings.
How does this situation look?
I have one word for you, Robert. Double plus I'm good. The world populace of 7.4 billion are all headed in the direction of Orwellian totalitarian oblivion. My voice is hoarse, yelling about stellar winds, cold chilling them and trap wire weaving through the world wide web we all dwelling in. Face it, the all-seeing eyes in all of our Facebooks like a virus, and in these iPhones with Siri, or should I say Iris. Next in line is RFID devices and mind chips triggered by chemtrails the plagues spray the sky with. This time it's too far. Check out the base they're building in Utah, where they'll be storing all your data for over a century. It's FUBAR, and under the outback is an entire tunnel of wires, an echelon base called Pine Gap to hijack our mother Gaia.
Hey, maybe your mother's gayer.
Boo-hoo. Why didn't you just kill yourself like most of your troops do?
That's it. Now you're on the cast iron list.
Hang on, General. Why weren't we informed about this?
Sorry we didn't tell you about our grand plan before. It was meant to be a surprise, under wraps in a store. But some spoil sports had to go and ruin it for all by blowing whistles in spite of the damn law.
Bill, Benny, and Thomas Drake are trailblazers for leaking these tactics.
Hey, civil liberty activists, this is all legal. Anything we do now actually is.
How did-
You can't question my authority, thanks to this.
And that shit's global, people. In Australia, it's now legal for the government to store all SMSs, searches, and emails. Australians, it's taking place under your nose. Unless you wake up, all your data are belong to ACO.
Come on, everyone knows. You can trust the government now. If you've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to worry about.
That might be the case with things that are happening now, because most people agree with most of the laws that are being handed down. But once the Illuminati reveal their agenda for you, this surveillance will enforce laws you no longer consent to. But by then it'll be too late to protest too, and anything you've ever said, typed, or browsed can or will be used against you.
I'm confused. So what should we do then?
What should we do? Nothing. This is all an illusion. It's just a ride, a delusion, the Matrix, the Maya deceiving us.
You hippies really make our job so much easier.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're picking up a signal from beyond the space-time continuum. Quick, switch on the juice channeling portal. Wait, is that George Orwell?
Good day, too.
Wow, what do we owe this honor to?
I tried to warn you noobs, but I see you are actually fools, or else you thought this was an instruction manual.
Yes, so can you advise us? What would you have us do?
An open and universal internet is the most effective tool you have to address the issues that afflict the world at hand. Therefore, protecting it is the most essential task that stands before your generation.
I think I understand.
Hush, man! You must not lose the internet. Heed this mantra. Who controls the internet controls the data. And who controls the data controls the future.
We're losing you.
I leave you with a tool to use.
An onion?
Don't be simple, Robert. This is but a simile. It stands for Tor.
Tor?
Google it. It's for anonymity. This onion router open network helps considerably against tyranny, but its abilities only work if all you use it consistently. And even if you don't use it, run it so its force swells.
Thanks, Mr. Orwell.
From now on, call me George Torwell. If we'd had such tools when I wrote this, well, it would have been so much simpler to tell Big Brother to go himself. The mother sucking piece of shit.
Thanks, George Torwell, for manifesting direct from this memory hole of history to impress on us these messages. We're told we need safety, which is precious, yes, but can a society that can enforce all its laws ever progress? Hindsight shows that many figures guilty of thought crime turned out to be luminaries and heroes before their time. But if a surveillance state had reigned then in this form and design, just think of all the progress we may have all been denied. Could lobbies for women's or gay rights have appeared and thrived? Would revolutionary ideals have materialized? Would science have pioneered or even survived if every word had been monitored by thought police and spies? Big Brother brings chilling effects, freezing our collective hopes. He doesn't protect our safety, but protects the status quo and threatens this internet, the one channel yet uncontrolled, whose openness we are now called upon to effect and uphold.
If you're tired of the other stuff, take a look at thenewamericanmedia.com.